Mathematics, the universal language of numbers, patterns, and logic. From ancient civilizations to the modern day, the history of mathematics is a fascinating journey of discovery and innovation. Our journey begins in ancient Egypt. Around 3000 BC, the Egyptians were among the first to use arithmetic for practical purposes like measuring land, constructing pyramids, and keeping time. They developed a decimal system based on 10 fingers, and their mathematical knowledge was recorded on papyrus scrolls. The Egyptian number system was quite different from what we use today. They used a system of hieroglyphs to represent numbers. For example, a single stroke represented the number 1, a heel bone symbolized 10, and a coiled rope stood for 100. This way of counting helped them in their day-to-day activities, especially in construction and trade. Next, we move to Mesopotamia, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The Sumerians and Babylonians made significant advancements in mathematics. They created a base 60 number system, which is why we have 60 seconds in a minute and 360 degrees in a circle today. The Babylonians were also skilled astronomers, using mathematics to track celestial movements. The Babylonians wrote their numbers in cuneiform on clay tablets. Their base 60 system allowed them to make precise calculations in astronomy and create detailed star charts. This knowledge was crucial for their agricultural activities, as it helped them predict the best times for planting and harvesting crops. The Greeks took mathematics to a new level, transforming it into an abstract and theoretical science. Pythagoras, Euclid, and Archimedes are just a few names that left an indelible mark. Euclid's Elements is one of the most influential works in the history of mathematics, laying the groundwork for geometry. Pythagoras is best known for the Pythagorean theorem, which states that in a right-angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. This theorem is still taught in schools today and is fundamental in geometry. Euclid, often called the father of geometry, compiled his knowledge into a series of books called Elements. These books covered topics like plane geometry, number theory, and spatial geometry. Euclid's work was so thorough that it remained the main textbook for teaching mathematics for over 2000 years.
Aryabhata, one of the most famous Indian mathematicians, wrote a book called Aryabhatiya when he was only 23 years old. This book contained a wide range of mathematical and astronomical knowledge, including the concept of zero as a number. Aryabhata's work had a huge impact on both Indian and Islamic mathematics. Brahmagupta, another great Indian mathematician, expanded on Aryabhata's work. He was the first to provide rules for arithmetic involving zero and negative numbers. His book, Brahmasphutta Siddhanta, was translated into Arabic and influenced Islamic mathematicians during the medieval period. During the Islamic Golden Age, scholars like Al-Khwarizmi, known as the father of algebra, and Omar Khayyam, who worked on geometric solutions to cubic equations, preserved and expanded upon Greek and Indian mathematics. Their works were translated into Latin, fueling the Renaissance in Europe. Khwarizmi's most famous work, the compendious book on calculation by completion and balancing, introduced the world to algebra. Algebra itself comes from the Arabic word al-jaba, which means reunion of broken parts. Al-Khwarizmi's work laid the foundation for modern algebra, making it possible to solve equations using systematic methods.
Omar Khayyam, a Persian mathematician and poet, made significant contributions to algebra and geometry. He developed methods for solving cubic equations by intersecting conic sections. Khayyam was also an accomplished astronomer, and his work led to the creation of a more accurate calendar. Renaissance Europe, mathematics flourished once again. Figures like Fibonacci, who introduced the Fibonacci sequence, and and Galileo, who applied mathematics to physics, paved the way for modern science. The invention of calculus by Isaac Newton and Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz in the 17th century revolutionized mathematics, providing tools to understand change and motion. Isaac Newton, one of the greatest mathematicians and physicists of all time, wrote Principia Mathematica in 1687. This monumental work introduced the laws of motion and universal gravitation. Newton also developed calculus independently around the same time as German mathematician Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. Calculus is a powerful mathematical tool used to study change and motion. And it has countless applications in science, engineering, and economics. Alan Turing, a British mathematician and logician, is considered the father of computer science. During World War II, he played a crucial role in breaking the German Enigma code, which helped the Allies win the war. Turing also developed the concept of the Turing machine, a theoretical model for computation that laid the groundwork for modern computers. John von Neumann, a Hungarian-American mathematician, made significant contributions to many areas of mathematics, including set theory, functional analysis, and quantum mechanics. He was also a pioneer in the development of game theory, a mathematical framework for analyzing strategic interactions between individuals or groups. Von Neumann's work has had a profound impact on economics, political science, and evolutionary biology.